How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? Nowadays, it's the fact that fear has been killing more dreams than failure ever has. People are scared to try new things, try new ideas, experiment on something that they find interesting. And I don't blame them. In the society we live, creativity and trying something new is looked down on. It's revolutionaries that will defy the odds of society, look against what common knowledge and what people feel like. They'll do what they want to do. And it's needless to say that this is essential. We need people that will think outside the box, do what they think is necessary, pursue something that other people find trivial. We will always need people that strive to be everything they can be. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome aboard Life Launchpad, your go-to channel for practical advice and guidance to launch your dreams into reality. I'm your host, Angel Savina. Today we're back again with another video. We're back at school. I recorded a video yesterday. I didn't mention that I was back at school, but I think you guys can tell from my setting. We're back at school. Today's video, we're talking about everything you could be, unlocking your true potential and making sure that you do what you need to. The first thing I want to talk about is that society is set up to make you think less, make everything automatic, make you part of an ideal society and you play a role for it to function continuously. I don't want you to think this is making you dumb. I just want you to know that this is making you lazy. You're just doing what's necessary to keep the society moving, and you're okay with that. You're complacent. In an ideal society, an individual goes through 12 years of standard school, 4 more years of a higher education, finds a job that makes them an income that they find desirable and reasonable, and then they continue to progress across life by starting a family, raising a child into that same exact idea set that they need to go through 12 years of standard school, 4 years of higher education, get a job that they're satisfied with, and then repeat the process over and over again. And who's to blame for this? Really, you can't blame any specific person. It's just the way that the system has been made. I use the word the system, and I plan on using it a lot because it is a system. Every single person is a working piece in a system that makes the whole thing move together. If there aren't people that, go to school, find that job, and then, continue the progress for the future, it creates disruption in, big businesses and the government. They're like, if the one person that was supposed to go to college and doesn't, they decide to drop out and pursue something on their own, that's another person that doesn't follow the system, doesn't bring in revenue. They find something else. They might be doing something else that just isn't part of what is conceived as normal. The thing about it, these people are highly regarded in our society. People like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, people that have defied the odds. They went against what they were supposed to do. They dropped out of college. They thought of an idea and they pursued it. They went after it. They created something spectacular that ended up revolutionizing the world. And those are three simple, basic examples. I say simple, basic because they were just ones that popped into my head. They were something business oriented. They're in like my time span, my life. And I find them as people that went against what they were supposed to do. They didn't just settle. Settling is not something that they were willing to do. And that's what set them apart. That's another key term, settling. People are willing to settle. As long as you keep somebody happy and complacent, they won't need to strive to reach something more. There's a saying that says, give a man sex, good food, and cheap entertainment and watch him throw his ambitions out the window. And that's what I'm saying for settling. You could get everything you need to, just make you stable, make you okay with where you're at, and you will throw everything else out the window. But who's to blame you if you have everything you need, some food, sex, and then casual, cheap entertainment, you've got every aspect of your life to, be happy, and there's not much that you can complain about. It's the people that look at this and be like, that's not enough for me, I need more. Those are the people that revolutionize the world. They change it. They look and seek for something more value to bring to the world. They want to leave a legacy for themselves and to impact the world for years to come. This is the pursuit of being everything you can be. David Goggins was on a podcast some time ago, and he was talking about reaching your full potential, doing everything you could to be the best you. And he talks about, before him being this incredible athlete, extremely disciplined individual, he talks about him if he passed away when he was before that, this overweight individual that was just spraying rodents. And it's like he reaches heaven's gates and it says, David Goggins, Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, ultra marathon runner, all these different accomplishments. And if he looks at it, it's like, that's not me. And then the other half of it is, and you were supposed to be.
And I made it to heaven. I'm 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I made it to heaven. I worked with David Goggins. I see my name and I see all this shit. And God goes, hey, you say, read this, man. 182 pounds, Navy SEAL, Ranger School, motivational speaker, changing lives. Okay, man, pull up record, all this shit. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be.
And it's just that moment of realization. It's like, wow, if you're complacent with where you are, you're not going to reach what you truly have in store. I talked about the system for, a little bit earlier in this video, and, it definitely plays a part of it. I don't want to put everything on the system, but it definitely plays a role. People are built into the society where they program you to think a certain way, to act a certain way, and do things a certain way. Everything is by whatever the system wants you to think. You just follow those rules. That's what it is. You follow societal values. You follow what's normal, what's the norm. You follow what other people around you are doing. But this isn't the only thing. You have to realize that people make actions on their own. No one has to do anything. They do it because they want to do it. And maybe somebody might be pressured and like coerced to do something, but most actions that you do are on your own account. And the idea of complacency is something that you are okay with. The system might be pushing you to be okay with it and, accept the fact that you don't need to reach more and that whatever you're doing now is enough. The fact that you accept it is on you. And some people are okay with it. Some people are like, I'll live my life being an average individual. I don't want to pursue anything. And, that's, to me personally, that's a shallow way of looking at life. If I'm not reaching everything I could be, and I'm not discovering myself, learning new things, and unlocking this next level, what's the point of it? In my childhood, I was big into video games. Striving to reach the next level, improve my character. Get newer options, new skins, whatever it was, whatever game I was playing. I was always pursuing to be, as good as I can be in whatever game it was. And then it comes to a realization that the most interesting and the best video game you could be playing isn't a video game, it's life. You could be leveling up your character as much as possible, doing better things, exploring things, and experiencing it in real life versus through a computer screen. And I had this realization a little on my own, but was also, I watched this video of Andrew Tate talking about it. It's like, why would people spend, hundreds and thousands of hours playing a video game, leveling up a digital character, when they could spend hundreds and thousands of hours leveling up themselves and their own character in real life? Because don't get me wrong, I have spent countless hours. I mean, realistically, I've probably spent upwards of 10,000 hours playing video games in my childhood up until now. And as bad as that is, I know, and I've accepted it. And there's nothing I can change about it. Yeah, obviously I could have done something as a child, but in the moment, that's all I wanted to do as a kid. I just wanted to play video games. As I've grown to become an adult, I've realized I could be much more than just a kid that sits in his room and plays video games. I've learned that I can achieve, physical growth, I can mental growth, psychological growth, financial growth, whatever it is. There's much more that I can achieve for myself. And that's what I want you to realize. I want you to realize that you can build yourself up to be whatever you want to be. The only way you don't reach it is if you stop and quit. That's the only form of failure. Because that means you gave up on the process and you weren't committed to the idea of making yourself as extraordinary and as great as possible. It's this idea that the greatest people on earth, people that have done the most, made the most impact, people that you talk about in history books, people that you will talk about in history books, superb athletes, LeBron James, Tom Brady, Will Chamberlain, business owners, Warren Buffett, Rockefeller, different people like this, presidents, rulers, world leaders, motivational people. They were not much different than you. Everybody started with, basically the same fundamentals. Maybe somebody was in a wealthier family, maybe somebody was in a poorer family, maybe somebody was born on an island, maybe somebody was born in a very populous city. But everybody's born with the same fundamentals of a human being. And then what they did is they applied them differently. They apply them to make themselves the best and the most powerful and most influential individual they can be. You can't compare yourself to somebody's year 10 when it's your day 1. It's not fair to yourself because you're comparing yourself to somebody that has so much more experience, so much more knowledge and everything that they've done already to get to where they are versus you who's just beginning your journey. Another great quote that I really love is talking about when to plant a tree. When's the best time to plant a tree? Best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time, right now. And that tells you the idea that Yeah, maybe you're not where you want to be, you haven't grown and developed into the individual you think you could be, but if you start now, you can do the same process and get to where you want to be. Believe it or not, everybody has a lot of potential. You, yes, you have the potential to be the greatest person on earth. And I mean that. I really do. You could make something revolutionary. You can cure cancer. You can do something to change the world. All it matters is that you take the first step in being everything that you can be. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. As always, drop a like, subscribe, content flowing. Got a lot of long content. Got to work on some short content. This video I liked the idea of it. It was a really beautiful idea. Um, the execution, I feel like I went really free flowing. I had a little outline, a little script that I was trying to follow. But as I was speaking, I thought of these thoughts, and I was going off, and I was talking about things that I personally value a lot and really find meaningful in today's world, and motivating somebody to be their best selves. That's what I want. I want you to become the best version of yourself you can be, no matter what it is. Maybe you want to be, best basketball player. Maybe you want to be the best painter. Maybe you want to be the best, I don't know, chair manufacturer. Maybe you want to do something that's just not, commonly seen. Just know you can do that. It really just matters how committed you are to this idea and how much work you want to put into getting there yourself. As always, don't forget, the power to transform your lives lies within you. Don't stop learning. Don't stop growing. Don't stop launching towards your dreams. As always, I'm your host, Andrew Savina, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.